A professor of political communication at Tehran University. Professor, thank you so much for your time. I just wanted to read you, I presume that this is Dr. Masoud Pesan, because the agency saying it's a quote from the sole reformist in Iran's poll. He says, "We will try to have friendly relations with all countries except Israel." I mean, they probably could all have said that, right? I mean, there won't be too much change coming.
I think Mr. Pezeshkian, if he becomes Iran's president, would try to build on the legacy of the late President Raisi. One of the objectives that President Raisi had was to improve relations with the neighboring country, including Turkey. And he, during his presidency, continued the talks on Iran's nuclear program. As you know, Trump left the agreement. Biden was supposed to return, but he didn't return. I think Pezeshkian, or whoever becomes Iran's next president, will continue that path. And given the disastrous performance of Biden last night in the debates, I think that provides an opportunity for Iran's next president to actually achieve something that others might not have been able to do that.
And there's also, of course, been the recent rapprochement between Tehran and Saudi Arabia, so presumably the new president could follow that. In terms of domestic issues, Professor, how much of a challenge will it be to Ebrahim Raisi's successor, considering there is a growing feeling of political, social, economic concerns, shall we call them?
You know, Iran's next president is going to do more on the economy. They had 5 debates, and 3 debates out of 5 focus on the economy. And I think as Iran's economy improves, they are going to have an easier time dealing with other issues, with social issues and other issues of concern. So I think the focus of the new president will be on improving the economy and actually building on what President Raisi has done already.
And how important will a high turnout be, given what happened in the parliamentary elections when they were extremely disappointing? Because turnout obviously is an indicator in itself, regardless of who a person votes for.
I think we'll get more than 50%. And, you know, this is something about Iranian elections that, and you don't see that in many places. Voter turnout is not a big issue in many countries, but since Iran is under a lot of external pressure, we have over 100 news outlets speaking in Farsi to Iranian audiences, asking them not to show up at the polling stations. You don't get that in Turkey. You don't get that in many countries that I know. So given that level of black propaganda that's beamed at Iran, having more than 50%, I think, would be something that the government would like to see.
Professor Foad Izadi, thank you so much indeed.